Hey guys, and welcome back to CanCode. I'm actually not used to saying CanCode that much anymore because it's been 9 months since I've made a video, and I've been working on another channel called CFOP Cubing, which you can check out. I'll leave a link to that in the description below. Um, but anyway, yeah, so this is part 3 of the fighting platformer game I started working on like a year ago about, I think, somewhere around there. But yeah, it's been a really long time, and I've not done Scratch in a really long time, so yeah, today I'm just gonna be doing the bow and arrow for the player so he can shoot at the enemy. So I don't know how this is gonna go, but let's try it out. So one glitch that I had in the last video that I never fixed, I don't know why, is when you are going, sometimes the guy can. It usually works in the second one, I think. Yeah, he can go on top and it won't kill you or him. So um, the reason for that was because in the enemy, I did a pretty bad job of um, drawing this guy out. I just didn't want to take forever. But here I'm gonna just take a little bit more time and make the guy a little bit better. But the reason why was because there's this black right here, and it is just standing on top of the player instead of the red touching him. So the red's not going to touch him, it's just going to be that black. So now that should work, but I'm also going to make the stuff around the eyes look a little bit better because that didn't look the best. And I'll make more white for the eyes to go down a little bit more. And there we go. And maybe I'll make it so that he'll be looking right and left at some times, but right now I'm just going to keep it like this. Okay, so now let's try that out and see if it actually worked. The enemy doesn't look as sloppy anymore, which I'm liking. Okay, so that's not the reason, it's still doing that. Alright, so in part 4 I might need to fix that glitch, because I'm not exactly sure what's going on. But yeah, at least we made the enemy look a little bit better. Okay, so now let's make the bow and arrow. So we have the sword, which just does what a sword should do, and get swung by the player. But now we're going to make a bow and arrow that just shoots arrows. So I don't know how well this is going to turn out, but let's try it out. So we're going to call the sprite, I'll call it bow, and then we'll make an arrow sprite, because we're going to have clones of arrows be shot out of the bow. Okay, so if we go here and we draw our bow, I'm not going to take a lot of time on this. But basically, I'll just have a brownish color. There's a good brown. Okay, that's alright. Have it like that. And we'll bend it like a bow. Like so. Okay, and I'll bend it back a little bit like that. And then I'll just connect it on the ends, and the reason I'll do that is because it may not look as good, but then I'm able to fill the inside actually, I'll just click this and get the same color. And there we go. Now we have our bow, which doesn't look the best, but that's alright. Actually, I'm also just going to add a line to it because, well, bows should have that. And we may make it like pull back when the arrow is about to get shot, but to start, we'll just have this. Okay. So what we want is we want it to go to the player like normal, just like the sword, except we kind of want it to be aimed towards where our mouse is. so that when we click, it will shoot the arrow. So I'm just gonna take this and steal this sword code and bring it over to the bow. I don't know if that worked. Okay, I did. Yeah, you just drag the code into another sprite like that. And instead of that, so what we'll do is instead of having this code here, we'll have it hide, and then if the key space press, we don't want to do that. We want to say if mouse down, which is just means when you click. Then we want it to go to player. We want it to show. We want to point it in direction 0. So that would be pointing up. You know, instead of that, what we'll do is we will delete that and we'll just say point towards mouse pointer. That'd just be a lot easier. And then if the x velocity of the player is greater than 0, so that just means you're on this side. So the x velocity of the player is greater than 0. So that would just mean when you're on this side of the place where you play, I forget what it's called, then it will turn this direction. Oh, wait, no. Oh, whoops, sorry. Okay, I got that wrong. So this is the x velocity, which is actually a variable. Okay, so that makes a lot more sense. Sorry, it's been 9 months since I've done this, so I kind of forgotten about what I did in this game, but this is a variable. So what's going to happen is if it's greater than 0, which means you basically just are moving to the right, then it goes to the right of the player. So this is what we want. Okay. So instead, I'm just going to take out the repeat, and it's just going to go to the player and change x by 20, so it's going to go to the right of the player, which is what we want. And instead of just turning, I don't want it to turn. So I'll just do this, keep it like that, and then I'll take out the repeat. I'll just put it over there. And then I'll have it point towards the mouse pointer again. It's not really necessary because it's already pointing towards the mouse pointer. But yeah, and it's just gonna stay like that. And actually, I'll take this out and I'm going to put it down here with a repeat until. And it's just gonna always be pointing towards the mouse pointer wherever I point until I release the mouse. And when I release it, it's going to wait a little bit of time and then it will disappear. So repeat until. Instead of wait until we're clicking, we're gonna wait until we're not clicking. So we're gonna use this not operator and put that inside the not operator and then put it both in the repeat until. So we're gonna wait till we release the mouse and then it's going to shoot. So it's gonna shoot then, but we don't want it to disappear right after we shoot. We want it to wait like, I don't know, 2 seconds. So after that, we'll wait 2 seconds and then we will hide the bow and arrow. So let's try that out. So, alright, so let's see how that turned out. So that didn't look like it worked, but we're moving around like this. I'm just going to kill this guy so that he's out of the way. So we're moving, and then I'm going to click, and it's pointed like that, but it's staying in one spot. So, okay, so there's 2 problems. One of which is it's not going to the player all the time. It's just staying in one spot. And the other one is the string is black, so the player is recognizing this as ground. So it's actually like thinking it's ground because it's not programmed to know what ground is. It's programmed to know what black is, and it's just going to use black as ground. Okay, so let's fix the go to player one. So instead, so it's going to go here, and then it's going to go a little bit to the left or to the right of it. So I'll just have this wait 2 seconds afterwards, but then I'm going to repeat until not mouse down, and I'm going to put that in both of the if statement places. So I'll put this in here, and I'll also put in the point towards mouse pointer. So if you are clicking, it's gonna repeat until you're not clicking, and it's just going to go to the player, go to the left or to the right of it, and then it's gonna point towards the mouse pointer. And then after you're done, then it's gonna go out of this if statement, and it's gonna wait 2 seconds, and then it's gonna hide. Okay, so now let's try that out. Okay, that went to the left for some reason, but okay, so we're gonna move around, and then I click, and it's on this side. Okay, so it's still thinking it's ground, so let's just fix that real quick. And I could just make it so that it recognizes what ground is, but instead I'm just gonna right now just change the color of the string, just so that we don't need to worry about that just yet. So I'll put it around 50. Doesn't need to be perfect. Okay, let's try that out. Okay. Okay, now we have this bow, and we're going to the left when this happened, so even when we go to the right, it's still going to have it on the left. So we can fix that to make it go onto the right when you start moving into the right. When you let go, it just stops. Okay. Yeah, and that 2 seconds was a little bit too much. I'm going to say like 0.2. That was a lot less, but I think that'll be better. Okay. Okay, so right now it's doing this script here. But instead of always having it, if we're moving to the right, instead of always going to the right of it, even when we start going to the left, instead of what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take out these. I'm doing a lot of stuff with this, but I'm just going to get rid of this, and I'm going to put the repeat block around the if statement. So it's just always going to be checking to see if it's going to go to the right or to the left. So if we try that now, okay, and then, so we're going to click. We're going to the left, so that's why it went to the left. But as soon as we go to the right, it moves to the right. And there we go. Perfect. Okay, 0.2 seconds was even too much, I'm going to say. You know, we might not even want it to wait at all, actually, come to think of it. Yeah, I'm going to just make it disappear right away. Went from 2 seconds to 0 seconds. But if you want it to wait, you can do that. Yeah, that's a lot better. Okay. So now what we want it to do is we want to have an arrow go into the bow. Alright, so here we're going to need to create a new sprite, and we're going to turn it into an arrow. So, let's just draw one out. I'll see if I can just draw a quick one. So I'll have the arrow like that, so make it a little bit thicker. And then I'll make a triangle, and the way you make triangles in Scratch is you make a line, then make a line like this, and then make a line like this, and that's the way you can do it. Another way you can do it is just by making a square and then deleting one of the corners and then using this tool to move the corner into the middle. I'm not going to create this all the way just black. I'm going to do it gray because I don't want the player to recognize it as ground. I'm also going to fill it with the same color that it is. Wait a minute, is that not filling? Huh. Okay, I'll just fill it like this. Okay, there we go. And we can make a tail for it, like feathers, but I'm just gonna leave it like that for now. Okay. So what does the arrow do? Well, when the flag is clicked, it's going to hide right off the bat, and it's going to wait until you click, which basically means now the bow's appeared and it's ready to fire. So it's forever going to be checking to see if the flag is clicked. So if mouse down, then we want it to go into the bow. So how does it know where the bow is? Well, instead of figuring out where the bow is, what we can do is just make it go to the same place that the bow is. So if mouse down, then it's going to go to the player. And instead of just making it go to the player, actually, we'll just create a clone of itself because we're going to have multiple arrows. So create a clone of myself, and then we're going to wait until the mouse is not down and the arrow is released, and then that's when another clone is able to be created. So let's put it right here. So when I start as a clone, what's it going to do? Well, it will show and appear, and then it will also go to the player, just like the bow is. I'm just going to shrink this down a little bit. And then what we'll do is we'll make it go to the left or the right according to if you're moving to the right or to the left. So I'm going to take out this code that we had, and I'm going to let this sprite take it so that we don't have to rewrite it all. And so it's going to go to player. And actually, we don't need to do this because it's going to do it in here anyway. So then it's going to repeat until not mouse is down. And we're going to get rid of this hide, and instead we're just going to delete the clone. So repeat until not mouse down. If the xvel, or velocity of the player, which is just a variable, as I just figured out. So this should all work out, but it kind of depends where the sprite is located on this plane here. So we might need to move it around a little bit, but let's try this out. Okay, so we're gonna click. Oh, would you look at that? And then you go to, I really like where it went. It went like perfect. Okay, that's nice, actually. So now we are gonna want our arrow to actually shoot. But that is gonna be for another video because I've already taken up a little bit of time. I don't exactly know how long this has been going for, but that will be in the next video. So stay tuned for that one. I have no idea how long it'll be till I make that video. It was 9 months since I've made the last video. I'll try not to make it 9 months again, but I don't know. I can't promise on when I'm going to make the next video. So, yeah. Thank you for watching. Please remember to subscribe, and definitely check out the CFOP Cubing channel that I've been working on. The link is in the description, and sub to that. That would really help me out also. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.